Has many, many viewers in your state, great state of Alaska, and there's a common element among them all. Number one, they're energized. And number two, they hold reverence to the United States Constitution. They're largely conservatives, and they want Washington, D.C. to essentially leave them alone. You agree with that assessment?
I agree, and we're big fans of One American News, but absolutely, we're pretty much an independent people up here, and we like our small government, and we like our individual freedoms, and so absolutely.
The political dynamic of your race is very interesting in the race for governor. It's not just you against a Democrat candidate. The political dynamic is you against a Democrat candidate and an independent who just happens to be the sitting governor, Bill Walker. How do you characterize both of your opponents?
They're essentially both Democrats in this race. They're both fighting for folks on the left. They both support policies that a big government, more taxation, and less freedom for people. And my candidacy is for folks in the middle and on the right. I mean, I believe in a small government, individual freedom, and the ability for Alaska to develop its resources and create new wealth and new jobs for Alaskans.
A lot of the polling is in your favor. It's looking like you could take this thing in November. Number one, do you believe the polling? And number two, do you believe that the winner of this race is probably going to have less than 50% of the vote?
The polls that I'm really concerned about will be on November 6th, obviously. We're going to keep this race going right to the end. And somewhere in the neighborhood of 50%, I think, is reasonable, and that's what we're shooting for.
Well, in a three-way race, anything's possible. Just ask Lisa Murkowski, who I'm sure you're very proud of up there, Lisa Murkowski, and her votes, especially on the Kavanaugh confirmation.
You know, I just heard about that a couple minutes ago, and I'm hoping tomorrow there's going to be a different outcome. But we're going to wait to see what the final vote is tomorrow on this.
All right, when we get down to the issues in Alaska, you know, let's face it, a lot of people in the contiguous 48 don't know what's going on up there. But when we look at the high crime rate in Anchorage, for example, you compare that crime rate to Atlanta, and it's completely out of whack. I mean, we're looking at the violent crime rate statistics per 100,000 people. It's 5x what's going on in Atlanta. What's a governor to do about this?
Well, we certainly, a lot of our systems are falling apart the last several years under the current administration, and public safety is one of those. We've got to beef up our state trooper force. We have to make sure we have the right number of prosecuting attorneys. Currently, our courts are not open on Friday afternoon because of budget constraints, but we're going to fix that as well. So we have to focus on public safety as being job number one. There have been other locales throughout the country that have had public safety issues, but unless you're going to focus on it, which my administration will do, you won't get this fixed, but that's going to be job number one for us.
All right, so if public safety is job number one, the economy obviously is going to be job number two. And a lot of folks, again, in the 48 don't realize that Alaska has been mired in a recession for what now, 3 years, coming out of the Obama years, of course. What's the formula to get Alaska out of the recession? Is it similar to what Donald Trump has done? Lower taxes, less government, more freedom?
Absolutely. Alaska is blessed with a lot of natural resources. I mean, we have 1/7 of the country's timber. We have huge oil reserves, lots of gold reserves. And what we need to do is make sure that we're focused on getting those plays and those reserves into action, and starting to develop, make sure that we bring those oil fields to production. We have an extra 200,000 to 300,000 barrels that have been recently discovered. Get those barrels of oil in line, put Alaskans back to work, get them off our welfare rolls. Once we get people working again, it's going to also impact our crime issues, our public safety issues. And so the economy is job number one. Just like what President Trump is doing here in Alaska, we got to make the economy job number one.
Well, job number one along with public safety, one would imagine.
Yes.
Job one and two, not necessarily in that order. Now, on a personal level, you had a health problem. You declared your candidacy to run for governor in 2017, then you dropped out because of heart problems. How's your health?
Perfect. We got a clean bill of health back in November, and we've been in great shape, and things are looking good. Perfect health, and campaign's running well. So we're excited about the next 32 days.
All right. So if folks in the other 49 states, or even in Alaska, want to help out your campaign, do you have a website they can go to?
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Alaskansfordunleavy.com. That's Alaskansfordunleavy.com, and we could use the help. And if people want to contribute, they can do that. And once again, we're coming right down to the wire here, and we're feeling pretty good. So it's looking good right now.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.